this is Sparklestorm, and welcome to the Swinging Pine Zoo. And today is the day that we finally get to take a tour of the finished, completed, upgraded, rebuilt Swinging Pine Zoo. I don't know why I used so many adjectives to describe this zoo. I'm just really excited about the fact that it is done. And when I say done, I use that term loosely because I don't think that the zoo is really ever going to be done. Every time I go back into one of the habitats or take a walk through, I find 100 other things that I still want to fix or change, but I think that's maybe one of the great things about this game and playing in sandbox mode is that it is totally wide open and I can always go back and add or change things in the future or even completely restart a habitat like I did so many times during this series. So if you are just joining me today for the first time, this series was born about 4 weeks ago when I was playing Planet Zoo and my daughter came by and saw what I was doing and just got really excited about my builds and said that I should post it on YouTube. And of course at first I thought, no, that's ridiculous, but her enthusiasm was just kind of contagious and it grew, and she just really won me over and convinced me to post it. And my kids have always wanted to make a YouTube channel, and so I thought this would be a really good experience for all of us, and you know, through me they could see how it was done. So that's what I did. And I started posting the rebuilds, and I was able to, I think, get videos out kind of a little bit more quickly than maybe I will in the future because they were rebuilds. I wasn't actually building from scratch, so I had something to start with and then just could take that idea and rework it and make it into something new. So I think that in the future, I'm not sure. I have learned so much about this game, and I think that my future builds might actually take quite a lot longer because of that, because there is so many more things that I want to do in a habitat when I build them now. So without any further ado though, I think we will just jump down here into the zoo and have a look at some of the habitats. As I walk around, I'm going to try and show you some of the things that maybe some of the mistakes that I made, but also some of the things that I just want to do differently in my next build. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so we spawn right here into the entrance that came with the map. When I first started playing Planet Zoo, I didn't realize that I could delete all of this and build my own entrance. So that is something that I am definitely doing in future builds. And when we come into this area here, I'm not really sure what this area of the zoo would be called. This initial courtyard that you come into. I have a great big centerpiece here. So this is also something that I would push back and make this whole area just way bigger, because it is definitely a place that gets super congested, overcrowded, and just, you know, all those people coming in and out of these two little gates is often causes a problem. So for this tour, I decreased, look at these two. It's like, I don't know, on their treadmills. For this tour, I decreased the number of guests at the zoo to 2,000 so that it wouldn't feel too overcrowded as we are walking around. But this zoo is often having the numbers like closer to 5,000. So, well, 4,600 in that range. So, oh, this poor deer. So it can get very congested in areas. So as I said, I would just make that first section a lot bigger. I have some signage here to show us where to go. And this is just standard, comes with the game. So I think that's something else that I might work on in a future zoo, is just making this kind of more custom. Over here, we've got a bit of a raised path. So we're going to maybe come back around this way. So we're going to go this way and see what we have over here. So we've got our lemur habitat over here. We can peek right through this glass. We can't really see too much from here, but we do see a few of the lemurs there. The lemur tails wandering around through there, and if we come through here we get a much better view. We have a lot of little furry friends sleeping in here and a few more out here playing. The view of this enclosure, or the hard shelter section, the interior, is much better since I covered some of this glass with the vines up here. Oh, there, we can see it better looking straight up. So that just cuts some of the glare from the sun, and we still get a fair bit of glare on these windows, but not nearly as bad as it was, so that really helped. And got a little bit of education here with the signs, habitat signs. Through here I still have all my staff buildings. That's an area that I did not upgrade in this zoo, so I've just, you know, plunked them all down over there when I started the zoo, everything that I needed. And I think I've said this before, my keepers are not very happy about having to travel from this location all the way across the park. So something else I'm going to be changing in the future, in future builds, is just to have keeper huts kind of spread out where they need to be, closer to their habitat. So over here, well, maybe I can stop and take a look here. Move down a little bit for you. Oh! And have a look at the lemurs from this side. I've not put any ringtail lemurs back in here, which I had planned to do, but these little red-ruffed lemurs are, they're pretty prolific actually, so there are a lot of them in here right now, so I think that's good. I'm just gonna leave it as that. They like to be in a big group, so they're happy still, but there are a lot of them, so I don't think we need any ringtails right now. Maybe I will put ringtails in my next zoo. Up here we have the Treetop Cafe, and this is just actually as is. This was not one of the first things that I built in the zoo, so I had built quite a few other habitats before adding this Treetop Cafe, and I didn't really feel like it needed an upgrade for this park, so it's just gonna stay as is. And I'll move up again, sorry. Okay, and trying to avoid people, but it's really close to impossible. Okay, so again with the glare on the window, we don't have a great view, as my guests will tell me all of the time. Not a great view of the orangutans from here, but we can see a few of them here. There's a little one right there, and I think oh, there's one right there. And I think that might be about it for this habitat. Just maybe 3 adults and 1 little one. Did you see the flash again? That happened the last time I was in this habitat. Actually on the recording, on the video for the Orangutan Jungle. I don't know what that is. Not really sure. Again, if you know what that is, please let me know. So we'll head back over this way, and down this way we have the Tapir Forest. Alright, we've got a lovely little pond. They can swim through under this raised portion, this raised pathway over here, and they have another little, we'll see on the other side, you can see it from there as well. And they have, when we come all the way around, we'll see their hard shelter over here. I'm not sure where the other ones are, but I'm pretty sure there are 2 adults and a baby in there as well. Down here for our chimpanzee, oh sorry, orangutan house, orangutan jungle. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm on the opposite side of the park here from the chimpanzee house. So down here for our orangutan jungle, we actually do have a few more babies down here. Okay, so the last time I was here, there were just 3 adults and 1 baby. So one thing that you may notice as we travel around this park is that I have been very focused on the rebuilds and not so focused on managing the population. So you're, I think, going to see a lot of little babies in these habitats. I think they are just taking over. Other than the exhibits, that is, because I did learn how to set those up to just be managed by themselves. So this is the other side of the Tapir Forest. I can swim through here, kind of just walk around, hang out over here, and oh, you know what? I was going to put some enrichment items over here to encourage them to come over here a little bit more, and I forgot to do that. So that's something, see, another thing I can still do. Always something else I can do, add or change. Which is, I think, both infuriating and something that is wonderful about this game. So, okay, here we go. We are at our Chinese pangolins. And I think last time I was here, there were two adults maybe, and a little one. So I can already see that there are 3 adults here. I really do like this structure that I made. I used that S-shaped wall by flipping those curved pieces around for here. I can see that my glass doesn't line up here, so I'm gonna have to come back and fix that because that is gonna bother me. And spent a lot of time on this habitat. This was really well, I guess it was my second. The lemur one was really my first hard shelter that I built in the rebuilds, other than the Chimpanzee House. So this, I guess, would be my third, and I spent a long time in it. It was my first one that was like this, though, with a raised interior and an indoor and an outdoor section like this. All right, so over here we have just some standard washrooms. I think in the future builds I will create a building for those, just so that it will be kind of more consistent with the theme of the zoo. Through here we can see our aardvarks. We're going to go around and get a better view of them. I love this tree. I think it's the only one I have in the whole park, and I just had this little empty section here, didn't know what to do with it, and so I just made this beautiful tree the star of this section. Alright, so through here we've got the Western Lowland gorillas. I just deleted the floor that was in here. If you've seen my shorts, my Wait What shorts, you'll see that the people are, because of the slope obviously, and probably also because of the curbs, I had to have the floor so high that the people were just sinking all the way up to their shins in the floor. So I just deleted it, and I thought this looks just fine. For this area, they can walk through on the path, and the rest is just some dirt. So over here we've got our gorillas, and you can see through there, this is where I cut the river through, so I just created this bridge that goes over to their outside. I was pretty excited about this structure as well, just figuring out how to put these glass panels in for a sunroof or a completely open to the sky roof here, and had some issues with terrain when I was working on this, because on the other side I've got the water, and I had null barrier that was interfering with that, all kinds of issues. So I learned a lot working with these areas, just in how important it is to get my terrain set beforehand and not have to try and fuss with that after. Alright, so we'll head up this way and see the Western Lowland gorillas from out here. Alright, they've got a giant climbing structure, and wow. Oh, I guess they're all impressed as well. So this is where the river just flows through out to the lake out there. So I've got the bridge that they can walk across. And on this side, it does flow through over here to the area behind the Saltwater Crocodile. But I just covered all of this with rock, just for aesthetics, so that would look a little better. It looked a little funny. Wow, there we go. The silverback leaping onto the bridge as well. Okay, so we're gonna continue on over here. Actually, I think Okay, we do have like a little concessions here. Few little food and drink places. And over here we're going to continue on to the saltwater crocodile. So down here, this is my most recent video. So right before this one, see if any of these guys are in the water today. Huh. One over here. I think that's it. Yep, I think that's it. We're not gonna get a diving show today, so we're gonna continue on around here and up to the path above the crocodile. Alright, so on this side of the path, I realized how I guess dangerous this would be in a real zoo after I had built this. So I mean, people could just jump right over this rail into the water and you know, even throw things over this rail into the water, right into the crocodile's lake. So wow. Okay, so I wish he was doing that when we had been down there, but anyway. So I realized that this really wouldn't exist like this. There would be something, maybe some mesh, something coming out from the side here just to prevent any of those things from happening. On this side we have our river that continues on to the gorillas and all the way around to the Chimpanzee House. Okay, so let's just head over this way and we'll see a little bit of the dry land area. Alright, so here we've got 2 little babies and 2 adults. I think we have a 3rd one in here somewhere. This is the hard structure that I made for the Galapagos giant tortoise, and I just copied it over to this area, and I thought that it was going to work great. It had a wide opening on this side that I thought the crocodiles would be able to easily fit through. But every time, I think I had the male crocodile already in the habitat. And so then whenever I added the female, the keeper would bring her in and throw the box down right here, and she would pop out of the box and freeze, and she couldn't move at all. So I had no idea what was going on because the opening looked plenty wide enough for the crocodiles to walk through until I deleted the wall in front of them here, and then they were able to easily get in and out of their hard shelter into the exterior part of their habitat, and but I still didn't really know why or understand what the problem was until I watched a crocodile video by Sparrow838, and she was explaining in her video about hitboxes, and I had no idea what a hitbox was. But apparently the animal needs to be able to completely turn around in a space to be able to get through that space. So when my door was only 4 meters wide, the animals couldn't turn around. It wasn't long enough for the length of their body, so then they weren't able to even get through that space. So thank you very much, Sparrow, for explaining that in your video. I had no idea about hitboxes or what they were, and that was super helpful. If you haven't seen Sparrow's videos, you should definitely check them out. She is an amazing creator at Sparrow838. So over here we have our Mandril Island. Alright, so you can see the mandrills from actually many different places. You can view them from this path over here, the path we're on, across here into their hard shelter, or all along here. Actually, it really looks like you have a 360-degree view of the mandrills. And in the center here, they have all kinds of climbing enabled structures built in and around this giant rock pile, and they are pretty active in this space, so I'm pretty happy with the way that this turned out. They have a little beach over here. They come down and drink from this water, and they can't swim across or jump across this distance. I was actually hoping that originally that they could jump from their hard shelter onto the island, but and it looks, when you see them jump, it looks like they could span that distance, but they couldn't. So I did have to build 2 rock bridges so that they could move back and forth between their center climbing section here and their hard shelter up here. When we go back around on the other side, we will see how many babies there are in the mandrill habitat. All right, so down here we have our Chimpanzee House. And we can see inside their structure here, inside their hard shelter, they have a few little climbing pieces. Mostly, they don't really play in here too much. They just mostly use this space for sleeping. Can get up this way as well, and then you can also view their exterior from this building. Oh wow, there are quite a few of them. 2 little babies here. And we can go and see them from up top as well. So a little bit of education, just the standard signs. I'm really excited to use other media in those signs. So I did learn how to add other media, either royalty-free media that I can find, or my own creations, although I am no graphic designer, and how to put it into the game folders and get it in the game and put it on those billboards. So I'm really excited to do that in future builds. Here is where our river comes into the park. And it circles all the way around the chimpanzee habitat. We can also view them from over here. Just trying to get above the people a little bit without actually being in the roof. Not a great view of their exterior, but my idea here was that we would be able to see into their interior from up here, which we can see a little one climbing here now. Oh, I think that's like the most active I've seen them in that little space. And over here, though, they have a giant climbing apparatus, which I wish they used more often, because I really do like the way that this turned out. They will venture over here. They can get around the front of their building here to this side. And they can climb on all of these things, but they just prefer to be on the other side of the habitat. All right, so I think that next we can head down this way, and it will bring us back around to Mandril Island, but on the opposite side where we can see inside their habitat, or inside their structure. I just love watching them play with this. I'm not really sure what that is. This ball. I guess actually it looks like a kettlebell. I love watching them grab that and carry that around. I think we have a few more in the middle island over here now. There are quite a few little ones in here too. Aw, just having a little snack. Okay, we're gonna move on. We have a few more staff buildings over here. I was getting far too many complaints from my keepers about how far they had to walk, so I do have 2 more there, but I think those are the only ones in the park. The original ones I set down on the other side, and then those 2 there. So over here we have our collared peccary habitat. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I thought that was going to happen. At least once in the video, almost ended up in the ground. Here we go. I think it must be, maybe it's feeding time. Is everyone inside? Let's go find out. So we do have that other view of the mandrills from here. Not the greatest. Actually, it's not bad of inside here, but these are these rock bridges that I was talking about, so I had to build these so they could actually get across. Even though it looks like they could leap that distance easily. We can see our crocodiles from this side. See if anybody's in this little river. Nope. Of course, now they're all going to be diving. Well, that's great for these guests. They can enjoy that. We will check out. Oh yeah. Wow. Okay, so I may need to do a little work in here. So do you remember how I was saying that I have completely been ignoring the populations, just focusing on my rebuilds? This collared peccary habitat has gotten a little bit out of control, and we do even have new little ones, new tiny little babies. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. There are altogether way too many in here though, so we are going to need to go in and release some of these ones into the wild. Look at this one, just walking right through the water. Oh. All right, onward. We are going to head over to, let's see, did we take a look at our aardvarks from this side yet? Maybe we'll just quickly pop into our exhibits. So I do have this area in here for all of the exhibits. I had originally had exhibits kind of scattered throughout the park, and then decided to bring them all together in the middle and put them under this giant structure, this giant shade structure. So there was just really more of a focus for the exhibits. We have, oh, right here, little poison frogs. Let's see, who else do we have in here? Scorpion. Do we see any? Well, they are maybe a little tricky to find. We have our concessions from, we saw this from the other side. Ooh, our centipede. Our giant centipede. Where is he? I don't see him. No, there should be at least 2 in here, if not 3. I don't see them. Okay, let's see who else we have. I find they are often really hard to spot, all of these little ones in the exhibits. Ooh. I'm not sure which one. Is this the bird eating? The giant bird eater? Oh, right here. Oh. Sends shivers right up my spine. Okay, so what do we have over here? Oh. The Gila monsters? There they are. There's one. There should be about 3 in here as well, if I remember correctly. I think they can tolerate a group of 3. Okay, so I think we have some snakes over here. Oh, looks like this one maybe died. Did not get replaced. And in here, boa constrictor. I'm not sure where. I mean, he's probably right in front of me. just can't see him. Can you spot him? No. Nope, I can't see him. He's probably right there in front of me. Okay, on this side we have our tapirs from the other side. And I thought we did have a baby in here, but I'm not sure where he might be right now. So this was my vision for this, was that it was kind of like a forest and they would just go in and kind of bed down right among all of those trees. And I think it worked out okay in the end. It's never quite looks like what I envision. And on this side, I think we have, let's see if I can go around this way, our aardvarks from this side. Okay, there we have one, and a little baby one, and two. So 2 adults and 1 little baby one in there. And they are pretty happy in this little habitat. It is just the perfect size for them. Alright, and I think I just have 2 more habitats. I am going the wrong way. Yep, I'm going the wrong way. Can I cut through? No, that is just a little gulpy stand. I think I'm gonna have to cut back through here. So I am heading the wrong way. We are heading over to the Galapagos giant tortoise. Okay, we've got, oh, this is pretty exciting. We have one of our tortoises enjoying this little pool that I spent forever on. And this is kind of what I thought they would do. They don't swim, but that they would just kind of walk through the pool and cool off, enjoy the sprinkler over there. I did have to change the barrier for this habitat. So originally I had just posts that were the perfect distance so that the adult tortoises could not get out. Their shell prevented them from making their way through the posts, but didn't really, I guess, have the foresight to think about little baby ones. So these little baby ones could obviously just escape with no difficulty at all. So I went back, and there's another little one. So I went back and just added posts in between. So I think it still has a neat effect, but not exactly what I had envisioned in the first place. I think it still is kind of a neat, different barrier than anything else that I had done in this park. So I'm still happy with it. And I think that is the last, I think that is the last habitat in this park. The only other area that I haven't shown you yet is we have our information center and our souvenir shop. Also something that I didn't know that I could customize or completely make from scratch. So I'm excited to do that in future builds. And I do have one more courtyard area here to show you. Our picnic area for our restaurant. The Swinging Dines Cafe. We have a beautiful garden back here for our guests to enjoy while they are eating. And I think that is it. Alright, so that's it for today. Thank you for joining me on this tour of the Swinging Vines Zoo. I hope that you enjoyed it. It has been so much fun sharing my first zoo creation with you. My next video will be featuring the new zoo that I have been working on, and I am even more excited to share it with you. So please subscribe if you'd like to continue on this journey with me. Thanks again for watching, and bye for now.